Hey, how you doing? My name is James. I'm going to be doing a speech on the difference between the true hourly wage of a medical doctor versus a physician's assistant. So to begin, typically, if you look at Google and you look at the most searched things as far as a physician assistant goes, you'll see that more than likely the word physician assistant is usually followed by salary. People who are interested in the medical fields typically get into either a physician assistant or a medical doctor career field um, because they feel that even though they have to suffer through all those years of education, the annual salary is typically pretty good. But the issue with that is that the annual salary numbers are usually not a very good representation on what the actual salary is. That comes with the true hourly wage, and that's what we're going to attempt to figure out today. So last year in 2016, the average student typically paid for an undergraduate degree, a bachelor's in this case, between $19,500 and $40,000. That's kind of the range. If you were to attend a an average institution with that type of budget, in order to earn a 4-year degree, you're usually looking at about $100,000 for student loan debt. And then you're really, as far as the median cost goes, probably looking anywhere between 35 and 43,000. And then for medical school after that, you can look at probably paying about $45,000 a year in respects to a medical doctor. So over 20 years, your total cost between your undergraduate education and your medical school education is going to be in the realm of $790,000. Now, if you look at the average starting salary of a medical doctor, they're typically going to make between $115,000 and $145,000 a year. But then you got to deduct what you're going to be paying as far as the debt that you owe for your student loans. So realistically, with that salary, you're probably going to be left with about $70,000 to $80,000 a year after your student loan debts are taken out. Now, if you go to the medical doctor and factor in all these numbers and kind of look at what the true hourly wage is, after you deduct all of your student loan debt and everything like that, you're realistically looking at about $35 an hour until your student loan debt is paid off. Now, for a physician assistant, it's going to differ a little bit because you don't necessarily have to go to medical school like you do for a doctor. You go to a 2-year master's program after you complete your 4-year bachelor's degree. So we're going to kind of factor in, same thing, $40,000 for an undergraduate degree. PA school is probably going to be for the 2 years. You're looking at about $60,000. So realistically, your true hourly wage for a physician assistant is going to be about $33 an hour. That's only $2 an hour less than medical school, as far as becoming a medical doctor. So for $2 less an hour, you only have to go to a 2-year master's program. But you're going to be making generally the same amount and not have to deal with going through a residency program, not having to go through medical school, and you typically don't have as much responsibility. The main thing is that a physician assistant is a lower on the totem pole than a medical doctor. As a medical doctor, you do have oversight. As a PA, you do have some oversight. You can still prescribe medications. You can still assess patients. You can still, give recommendations. But unfortunately, as a PA, you work under the license of a medical doctor. So the medical doctor has the direct oversight. Um, and that's really the main difference, is $2 an hour between the two. So in conclusion, honestly, if I were thinking about one of the two, which I have, I would lean more towards the physician assistant, because not that I'm shying away from hard work, but it's a little bit easier and a little bit more realistic to attain. Being $2 an hour less than a medical doctor as far as salary goes, and you're only spending 2 extra years in school. So I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and I hope that if you were thinking about one of the two, this kind of makes it a little bit easier for you. Thank you.